It is time for one last book haul. I have mentioned that I'm going on a spending ban in September, and so these were books that I purchased in August from Book Outlet, and I'm going to unbox them for you now. Yay for Book Outlet. So this first box that I got is Rereads. So let's just see what's in here. I purchased the paperback of Fairest. I'm collecting the Lunar Chronicles in paperback. So this is by Marissa Meyer and it's Fairest. Glad to own this. I've already read it and loved it. I was a little worried that I was gonna have too much empathy or really understand Queen Elena too much and start to like her. So I did not want to read this for a really long time. I didn't read it in between press and winter. But I didn't read it then because I did not want to like Queen Lavanna. But never fear, I still left disliking her immensely. So that's Fairest, and it's Queen Lavanna. She's the villain in the Lunar Chronicles. It's her backstory. Then the other four in here I'm so excited for. I have really old copies of the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, and I saw Shannon from Leading Lights. Let me get that out of the way. I saw Shannon from Leading Lights purchase these from Book Outlet, and so I went right on and got them. This is the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I believe there's a fifth one that I don't have. I want it also in paperback form like these. So they are by Anne Brashers. It's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, the Second Summer of the Sisterhood, Girls in Pants, and Forever in Blue. And if you don't know, this series is about four friends. It starts their first summer apart, and then it takes the next 4 summers. They found a pair of pants from a thrift store that magically fits all of them. And it's just the story of their lives and as they begin to go their different ways. It's very heartwarming and their friendship is just really beautiful. And I haven't read the whole series in quite a long time. It's been probably more than 10 years since I last read it. I just recently listened to the audiobook of Sisterhood, the first one, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to rereading the rest of them as well. That's it for the first box. So now I'm gonna dig right into the second box, which has a lot of new things that I don't really know much about. So let's look at it together. I did purchase more than $35, so I got a little bear, Book Outlet bear. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. Probably it'll end up in my yard sale this weekend, but yay for a Book Outlet bear. Alright. I got a Morgan Matson book, my first Morgan Matson book. I've never read hers before, but I hear about her all over BookTube. And I purchased Since You've Been Gone, which is about 2 friends, and one of them disappears but leaves the other sort of a to-do list or a bucket list type of thing, and of challenges and tasks to complete. So there's a little bit of a mystery of what happened to the friend and a little bit of finding yourself, I think. So again, YA and I don't always get along, but this book sounded intriguing to me, so I'm looking forward to picking it up. Another book that's in here is by V.E. Schwab, A Darker Shade of Magic. Nope, this is the second one, A Gathering of Shadows. I started to read A Darker Shade of Magic in Barnes & Noble, but I don't yet own it. And I missed when it was available on Book Outlet, so when I saw the second one, I just decided to pick it up because I was really intrigued by the first one. Which is A Darker Shade of Magic. I don't really know much about this. I know it's a fantasy, and I know V.E. Schwab is super popular, so we'll see. The next book I picked up is The Storied Life of A.J. Thickery by Gabrielle Zevin. I heard a little bit about this because of BookTube, but I don't know too much about it other than it's a man, A.J. Thickery, who owns a bookstore, and I believe his wife dies, and his bookstore is kind of not doing so well, and then some books get stolen from his store, but then he receives a mysterious package. So it just sounds like a book about books and a bookstore owner, and I was intrigued by it, so I picked it up. And then I also grabbed another book by Gabrielle Zevin called Elsewhere, and I don't know anything about this one, and the back is extremely vague. It's a letter written from a girl who seems to be dead to one of her teachers. So I don't know what that is going to entail, but I'm looking forward to taking a look at it. The next book I picked up is called The Other Me by Saskia Sargensen. And this book sounds like it is written from 3 totally different perspectives and 3 different time periods. One is 1986 London, where Claudia is a high school student embarrassed by her German father, who is the janitor at the school. The other is 1995 in Leeds, and Eliza drops out of university to pursue dance, which is something that's a passion of hers. And then in 1930s Germany, where 2 brothers are getting ready to defend themselves or figure out, and that's the beginning of the Third Reich era, and where one of them kind of is in support of Hitler and the other isn't. And so then it says the fates of all these characters will collide in a novel that explores what we are ultimately willing to do for love. So this just sounded a little bit like historical fiction. I'm looking forward to reading this one. I have heard so much about this on BookTube, and this is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. And this is huge. I didn't realize it was going to be so big. I've heard this is just a heart-wrenching novel that I'm going to cry. It's about 4 friends in New York City and just their story, 4 classmates from Massachusetts who moved to New York, and their trials and joys as they live in New York. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm looking forward to reading this. The next book I picked up is called The Imposter Queen by Sarah Fine, and this is about a girl who was chosen to be queen when she was a young child, but when she reaches the age where she's supposed to be queen, she doesn't have the magic or the powers that she's supposed to. And so I don't know if she pretends to have them or if someone else, another girl pops up that has those powers and is really the true queen. There's a little bit of mystery and intrigue around it. It just sounded exciting and something that I would be interested in reading. I'm sorry if the lighting or my position is any different. My camera card was filled up and I had to clear it off when I went to work earlier, but now I'm back and just here to finish up with 2 more books that were in my book outlet haul. The first is called 5 to 1 by Hawley Badger, and this this is a futuristic book set in India where there are 2 perspectives of a girl and a boy, where there are, in a country where there are 5 boys to every girl. So girls are obviously a high commodity, and I believe there are bidding wars for marriage opportunities, and a girl who doesn't want to be a part of that and a boy who doesn't either. It's written in verse, so that's a little bit different. So it'll be a quick and easy read to go through. I've never read a book that was written in verse before, so I'm looking forward to this one. And finally, I have a book called The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly by Stephanie Oakes. And this is about a girl who grew up as part of a cult, and as she gets older wants to rebel against that cult and somehow gets put into juvenile detention. I don't know if they kind of capture everybody from her religious sect or not, but I'm assuming there are some lies involved. And I don't know exactly what happens, but it just sounded very interesting to me, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. Oh, there we go, I used my arm. So here are all the books that I purchased from Book Outlet this time these 2 purchases in August, and I'm very excited to read these, but again, I am not going to be buying any more books for quite a while, and I'm not even going to be going to the library for quite a while because I just clearly, with these 3 book hauls from the summer, have a lot of books to read now from my shelves. So I'm going to do my best to read as many as I can in the next few months and beyond, and I'll let you know. I would love to hear from you if you've read any of these or what you've purchased recently from Book Outlet, and talk to me down in the comments, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!